I'm going to show you how to fix a 2005 to 2012 Toyota Avalon Sunshade once and for all. If you have a Mercedes with a broken sunshade, this might even help you out too. It's a very easy repair to do, but just to get to this point wasn't easy for me. Let me start this from the beginning. Scammers. Liars. No water? I never even asked about water damage. What else? A family of raccoons never lived in the car? Not available? Oh, so you're just gonna ignore me? Accident, repo, and a 5-year service history gap? Yeah, okay. The old bait and switch. Keep your Honda, buddy. Take down your listing then. Delusional sellers. Your grandma died. Salvage title? Oh, this one looks pretty clean. 9,500, 88,000 miles. Let's see the service history. Look at that subtle off-white coloring. A perfect oil change interval. Oh my god. It's even dealership maintained. So after doing some research on negotiating, I gave a stranger from Facebook Marketplace $8,500 cash, and the mission was complete. Now, the car wasn't perfect, so it was time to do a little work. I restored the headlights. Yeah, because the seller's photos were, old. Gave it a wash. Yeah, that looks nice. Replaced the broken buttons on my key fob. The subwoofer was blown, so I refoamed it. I made the AC 10 degrees cooler. My Avalon is sorted. There's nothing left to do but enjoy it. Let's take it on a road trip. I stopped at the McDonald's drive-thru to get a McDouble. Make it 2 McDoubles and a large fry. That's when I saw it. In my rearview mirror, I almost lost my appetite. The thing every driver fears the most. It was a Nissan Altima. I quickly hit the Altima blocker button, but nothing happened. Bruh. That's when I felt it. The Altima owner's eyes piercing my rear windshield. I've never felt so vulnerable. So my sunshade won't go up anymore. I'm sure someone has had this issue before. Let's check the Toyota forums. So after sorting through a bunch of useless posts, this was the only useful one I found. The culprit is a plastic gear and a gearbox with a metal gear. That metal gear eventually grinds the plastic gear to dust. You may have a grinding noise or no noise in my case, but your sunshade won't work. If your sunshade is stuck up or your car thinks it's up, you may have a grinding noise when you shift into reverse. The original poster tried to replace the gear with another plastic one from eBay, but as you can see, these gearboxes are complicated, and it didn't work. I wasn't going to go that route. No one has documented replacing that gear successfully. Oh, and Toyota will only sell you the entire sunshade assembly for close to $1,000. I knew I was going to need to track down a new motor. After months of searching, it clicked. The motor was made by a German company called Bühler Motor. During this era, Mercedes was also using sunshades in their cars. After a quick search, I found that the Avalon used the same motor as many Mercedes models. Now we know why this motor has a 100% failure rate. Luckily, Mercedes will sell you just the motor. Well, the motor and the gearbox as one unit. I'm just calling it the motor. Check the description for the Mercedes part number and link. Alright, let's get on with the repair. I have the sunshade and the replacement motor in front of me. If you don't know how to get the sunshade out of your car, watch my other video in the description below. If you can't figure it out after watching that video, get some help. Not from a mechanic, but from your parents because you must be a baby. Check the description below for a link to YouTube Kids. I had no guide to work off of, so you're watching me figure it out as I go. That gold color motor you saw, that's the replacement. It's a used Mercedes part from eBay. It was broken too. Just buy the motor new from Mercedes or another parts dealer. That's what I ended up doing, see this picture, but I didn't re-record the video because the installation is the same. Save yourself some time. The only tools you need for this are a T20 bit, some pliers, and to smash that like button and hit subscribe. We're starting off on the underside of the sunshade. We need to get those 3 black screws off. There was black tape covering the screws. You can peel that off and throw it away. Mine just fell off. Just fast forwarding through this part, when you get all 3 off, your motor should drop down. Let's flip it over. And here I get confused as to why the motor is still connected. I look at my eBay part and see that the center shaft is threaded, so let's remove that screw. So after playing nice, I decided to get my pliers to get these connectors off. They were pretty stuck on here. We have the motor out. You can see one of the terminals is marked positive. One of the connectors was blue and one was black. The blue should go to positive. The black should go to negative. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. Take a picture before you take it apart. So we're going to put our new motor in. Just kind of wiggle it into place. You should hear it kind of click. And then tighten down that center screw. Here's me realizing the holes don't really line up, so let's turn this back around. Let's loosen that screw up. I'm going to let this part here just play, just in case anyone else runs into the same issue. It might be helpful. And flip it back over, and our holes are lining up pretty good this time. Just kind of wiggle it into place. There we go. Starting these screws by hand to not cross thread and then tighten them down. Now let's get these connectors back on. This first one bent a little bit. You want to be really careful not to break these terminals off. And let's get the second connector on here. This one took a little bit longer. Don't forget to tighten back down the center screw. We're all finished. Now don't forget to watch my other video to see how we get this back in the car.